Welcome, writers. Today is Friday, December 4th, 2020, and this is your writing workshop lesson for today. Today we will be revising using elaboration. We will be paying close attention to the sentence structure, word choice, and making sure that we are supporting our facts and opinions. But before we get started, let's look at the materials you will need. For this lesson, you will need your pencil, a blue and red pen or pencil, your student copy that I have listed in the framework for you to make copies of, your draft, and any extra scratch paper you may need to take notes, and your writing journal. If you do not have these supplies, go ahead and pause the lesson to collect them, then come back to press play. Okay, now that you're back and you have all your materials, let's go over our objectives. I will explain elaboration strategies and revision strategies. We will recognize elaboration as a revision strategy. You will revise your draft by checking for opinions, details, and facts. We previously looked at an example of an editorial titled, "What About Water Bottles?" I provided a student copy of the editorial for you in the framework for today. You're going to help me identify the facts and opinions within this editorial so that we can go over the strategy and check to make sure that the opinions and facts have partners. Using facts to support opinion is a characteristic of writing an editorial. I want you to take some time now to pause the video and underline all of the facts within this editorial in red and the opinions in blue. All right. Now that you're back, I want you to follow along as I point out the facts within the example editorial and the opinions within the editorial as well. Remember, we underline the facts in red. Follow along as I point out some facts to you. There were several facts within this editorial. Americans drink billions of gallons of water from plastic bottles each year. That is a fact that the writer got from New York News Time magazine. Another fact within this article, or this editorial, is getting a bottle of water ready took less than 1 minute. We know this is a fact because the writer took the time to create this experiment and time this at home. Another fact is most people could not taste any difference. We know this is a fact because the writer did an experiment in which she was testing out a theory, and she was trying to see if people could tell the difference in how water tastes. And she said from her data that most people could not taste any difference. Another fact is that the Bottled Water Council reports that just a third of all bottles are recycled. Plastic bottles are made of oil. This is another fact, not an opinion, but a fact. The bottles are filled in a plant that uses fuel. This is another fact as well that the writer included to support her opinions. More fuel is used to transport the bottles to stores. Another fact is that according to Marcus Grant, author of Water, Our Most Precious Resource, it actually takes about 3 liters of water to make 1 liter of bottled water. Now I'm going to move on to our opinions. Notice a pattern. The facts and opinions are partners with each other in an editorial or in a persuasive. The facts help support the opinions of the writer. One opinion is that sports teams should require athletes to use reusable water bottles. This is the thesis statement and also the opinion of the writer. She actually states, "I formed a new opinion. Sports teams should require athletes to reuse reusable water bottles." The other facts listed within the article, including Americans drink billions of gallons of water from plastic bottles each year, help support her opinion. Another opinion is that's hardly any time at all. The author wrote about some counterclaims that she had found while researching, and then she used her own research in which she timed filling a refillable bottle in order to make the statement that there's hardly any time at all to refill a pre-filled bottle. She used the fact that getting a bottle ready took less than a minute to support her claim. Another opinion is that saying water bottles can be recycled is correct. Okay? Yes, water bottles can be recycled. That's an opinion. However, the Bottled Water Council reports that just a third of all bottles are recycled. That is a fact. This fact, amongst the other facts that say bottles are made of oil, filled in a plant that uses fuel. More fuel is used to transport these bottles. This all supports the opinion that yes, water bottles can be recycled. However, using a reusable water bottle may be more beneficial according to the facts that she has found. Notice how there is a fact, opinion, some facts, and an opinion. These facts support the opinions that she is trying to persuade you to recognize. There's also the opinion that one bottle doesn't make a difference. But the writer goes on to counteract that claim by stating that it actually takes 3 liters of water to make 1 liter of bottled water. This is a fact that supports the idea that sports teams should require athletes to use reusable water bottles. The opinion that one bottle makes a difference is counteracted by the facts that she provides. We all must do whatever we can to use resources widely. This is another opinion of the writers. All of her support comes from the facts that she has written within her editorial. Teams should step in to help people change their habits. This is another opinion that the writer is persuading us to feel. She uses all of the details and the facts within her article to support this claim. Now that you have seen how to do this and how to underline your facts and opinions, when I say go, take the time to pause the lesson and underline the facts in your own editorial in red and the opinions in blue. Go now. Okay, welcome back. I hope you underlined your facts and opinions within your draft. I want to ask you something. Does your editorial have enough facts to support your opinions? Have you included enough details to make your thoughts clear? If your answer is no, maybe you need to add some more information or elaborate as you revise for sentence structure and word choice. If your answer was no, you can always go back and make sure that you have some support to back up your opinion and to persuade your reader. It is important that your reader clearly understands the point you're trying to make by you explaining not only what, but also how. Take a look at the anchor chart here. What's the how? You may want to copy down this anchor chart into your writing journal before I explain it. That way you always have it to use as a reference for later. Pause now to do this. Okay, now that you're back, I want to explain. You want to always first think, what's a fact that can use more detail within your draft? Look at your facts that you have underlined and ask yourself this question. Then secondly, reread the fact that you believe needs more detail. Ask yourself how. What I mean by how is, how does this fact support your thinking or your opinion? You need to answer this in order to help your reader understand. Then after answering this, lastly, you will take that how and think it, plan it, then write it. Think about the details you want to add to show how the facts support your opinion. Write down your details that show the how support that you are needing. This is how you explain to your reader the fact that supports your ideals. Students, you have seen this revising checklist before. Whenever you revise your draft, you always want to use the revising checklist to help you to make your revisions. You can add sentences or words to your draft. Instead of saying, my bike is red, you could say, my bike has red wheels and a red seat. This adds detail and more information for your reader so that they stay interested. Also, adding more details or more sentences or words can help the reader understand your opinion more. You can also delete unnecessary words or sentences. The blue whale has the largest, most gigantic is the largest, most gigantic mammal in the whole entire world? Well, a lot of that information is redundant. So instead, we would say the blue whale is the largest mammal in the world. You can rearrange your sentences or words. The school bus takes to school the students. Well, if you notice, that sentence doesn't quite flow correctly. So you would revise it to say the school bus takes students to school. You can substitute words or sentences for better ones. Pizza is good. Good is kind of a boring word, right? So if you added pizza is chewy and tangy, your reader might be able to feel or even taste possibly that pizza. If you use those detailed and descriptive words instead of the boring ones, it can really add life to your editorial. You can also combine ideas for varied and clearer sentences. Drinking water is good for you. Water helps your body manage waste. Well, instead you could say drinking water is good for you because it helps your body manage waste. These are all ways that you can revise your paper. It's important to look over the revising checklist as you revise your paper. Now it's your turn. Reread your draft, looking for places that you have left a fact unsupported. Picture what you know about that fact. Ask yourself how. Then write another sentence to partner with the first one to give more information. Also, check your draft for any revisions that you may need to do. Revise using the revising checklist. Make any revisions by working through the checklist and also making sure that your facts and opinions are supported. When you've completed revising and checking, add support, then turn your draft in to your teacher.